The Maldives? I mean, just saying the name, you instantly picture it, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. Those incredible white beaches, the turquoise water.
And those iconic overwater bungalows, it just screams ultimate getaway.
It really does. And while, yes, it's famous for that high-end luxury, which is amazing,
Right.
what we wanted to explore today is something a bit different. How you, as a first-timer, can have a truly unforgettable trip that mixes that luxury with, real local experiences.
Exactly. A balance. And we figured a really practical way to show this is by mapping out a pretty detailed 12-day itinerary.
Yeah, because the Maldives has this fascinating split, doesn't it? You've got the private resort islands, total pampering zones. But then you have the local islands, each with its own vibe, where you can actually connect with Maldivian culture and people.
So our mission today is to basically take you, the listener, on this journey. We'll outline a 12-day plan, day by day.
Drawing on what other travelers have shared, their insights, giving you the lowdown on what to do, where to go.
And crucially, what to eat, because the food is a huge part of it.
Definitely. Making that first Maldivian trip truly special. Something more than just the postcard image.
Okay, let's jump right in. Day 1. You arrive, and you're in Malé, the capital.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. A busy city in the Maldives.
Right. It sounds counterintuitive.
But it's actually a brilliant starting point. It gives you this fantastic contrast to the pure tranquility you'll find later.
Good point. It sets the scene.
And it lets you dive straight into the local rhythm. First stop, definitely the vegetable and dry fish market. It's near the pier on the north side.
On the markets, imagine the smells, the colors.
Exactly. Tropical fruits, local veggies, spices, and the dried fish stuff is fascinating. So unique to the region.
What should people try there? Any specific snacks?
Oh yeah, you got to try the tuna chips. They're addictive. Sea almonds, dried mango, those little coconut sticks. They're all these great little tastes of the real Maldives.
Sounds delicious. And the fish market is right nearby.
Just across the way, by the harbor. Picture the fishermen rolling in on their donis.
Those traditional boats, right?
Yeah, the classic Maldivian fishing boats. They're unloading their catch. Mid-morning is peak time, locals bargaining for tuna.
That sounds like an amazing scene to witness.
It really is. And hey, if you happen to be staying somewhere with a kitchen, chat with the vendors. They might share a family recipe.
Nice tip. And I heard you can sometimes see stingrays.
You can. Right at the edge of the vegetable market pier. Wild ones just swimming by. It's pretty cool.
Wow. And Malé itself isn't huge, is it?
Not at all. You can walk north to south in like 20 minutes. Super walkable, easy to explore.
Okay, so after the markets, maybe some culture in the afternoon.
Perfect time for it.
Yeah.
Just remember, respectful dress is key for religious sites. Long trousers for men, skirts past the knee, and covered shoulders for women.
Got it. So, the Old Friday Mosque.
Yes. Hukuru Miski dates back to 1656. The coral stone carvings are just incredible. So intricate.
Do you need special permission to go in?
Officially, non-Muslims need permission from the Ministry of Islamic Affairs. But, often the mosque staff are licensed guides. If you ask politely outside prayer times, they might let you have a look.
Worth asking then. And there's a Grand Friday Mosque too?
Yep, short walk away. Big golden dome, you can't miss it. Same dress code applies if visiting outside prayers.
Okay. And lunch nearby.
Absolutely. Right across the street is Seagull Cafe. It's built around this massive tree. Really cool vibe.
Oh, lovely. Open-air views.
Yeah, upper level looks right over the Grand Friday Mosque.
Yeah.
Great spot. People rave about their tuna steak and the biryani.
Biryani. You mentioned family-run places earlier. Do they offer something different?
Often, yeah. They might have really traditional dishes, things passed down, maybe specific regional stuff you wouldn't find easily elsewhere. A more authentic taste sometimes.
Makes sense. Are there walking tours for Malé?
There are. A really good way to get deeper insights. They cover markets, history, and some even include a boat trip to Villa Male.
Villa Male, what's that?
It's a nearby island, no cars allowed, really charming. The tour often includes afternoon tea there with hidika.
Hidika, those are the savory snacks.
Exactly, little pastries, often with fish or coconut, perfect with tea.
Sounds lovely. Okay, so as evening approaches, maybe somewhere quieter.
Lanusiare Park is great for that.
Mm.
Nice benches, flower gardens. Pretty peaceful.
And you get views from there.
Yeah, you can see the Sinamale Bridge connecting Malé to Huhul and Hulhuma. Sometimes you even spot surfers out at the wave break.
Cool. Dinner recommendation.
Salatai. It's family-owned, maybe a 10-minute walk. Their green curry, chicken satay, mango sticky rice. All supposed to be fantastic.
Yum. Good tip about restaurants being busy during prayer times, too.
Definitely something to keep in mind, especially around sunset.
And if people have extra time, quick mentions.
Sure. National Museum, Sultan Park, the bridge itself, Muli Age Palace, all nearby and worth a look if you have a bit more time.
Great. That's a packed day 1, so day 2.
Day 2, we cross that bridge. We're heading to Hulhumale, that reclaimed island.
Right, the newer development. How should we start the day there?
With a proper local breakfast. Find a hota, a traditional tea shop. Magukolu hota is a good one.
And the must-try dishes.
Mashuni with warm chapati. It's shredded tuna, grated coconut, chilies, spicy, savory, absolute delicious, a real Maldivian staple.
Sounds amazing. Then how do we get around Hulhumale?
Rent something. Car, scooter, bicycle, whatever suits you. It makes exploring the island much easier.
Good idea. And Hulhumale has a beach, too.
It does. A really nice public beach, white sand, swings. They even have this cool floating swimming pool.
A floating pool. Wow. Same advice about swimwear applies here.
Yeah, it's generally good practice to have a cover-up handy when you're not right on the sand or in the water. Respectful of local culture.
Got it. What about water sports?
Head to the Hulhumale Water Sports Club. They've got everything. Jet skis, kayaks, surfing, snorkeling, trips.
Sandbar expeditions, too.
Yep, with local guides. Great for beginners who want to explore a bit further out.
And when we get hungry after all that activity.
Red snapper and coffee beans. It's right on the beach, kind of rustic. Perfect for grabbing a fruit mocktail. Try the banana mia.
Banana. And food.
They do good salads, seafood, burgers. Pretty relaxed beach food.
Sounds perfect. Are there other boat trips from Hulhumale?
Definitely. You can find tours visiting nearby local islands, snorkeling trips that often include lunch on an island.
Sunset dolphin cruises?
Those two,
Yeah.
always popular. A really nice way to end the afternoon.
And for the evening, a local vibe.
Yeah, maybe a stroll through Central Park.
Yeah.
You'll see local families out enjoying the cooler air. There's a nice water fountain.
Relaxing. Dinner.
Pilabus is a great shout for Sri Lankan food. Kotu, string hoppers, really tasty stuff.
Sounds good. Any other quick mentions for Hulhumale detours?
Sure, there's a Hulhumale Mosque 2024 cloud signature for food, Dune Maldives for diving, and the Clay Studio for something arty.
Okay, so we've done the city, the newer island. Day 3 feels like a shift.
It is. Day 3 is when we head out to an atoll, specifically the Alef Dal Atoll, and experience a local island, Digura.
Ah, so this is where we see that other side of the Maldives.
Exactly. You take about a 2.5-hour ferry, and this is where you see the impact of that 2010 change, allowing tourism on local islands, guest houses, affordable hotels.
It's a different vibe from Malé and the resorts.
Totally. Generally, no alcohol or pork served, and beachwear is usually kept to designated bikini beaches. A bit more conservative, but incredibly welcoming.
And Digura itself, what's it like?
It's beautiful. Long, thin island like a teardrop shape. Only about 600 people live there, mostly fishing families. It has about 2 miles of beach and a lovely sheltered lagoon.
Sounds idyllic. Where would you recommend staying?
Timia Retreats Digura is a great affordable option right on the beach, close to the Bikini Beach area.
And they can arrange excursions, like for whale sharks.
Absolutely. Snorkeling, diving. Alef Dal is famous for whale sharks and manta rays, and the hotel can sort those trips out. Island Divers is another operator there offering safaris, parasailing.
Parasailing with potential whale shark sightings. That's wild.
Imagine. They also do scuba courses. Loads of options for getting in the water.
Okay, so the afternoon on Digura, settling in.
Yeah, grab lunch at the hotel, or maybe try Hermit's for some amazing fresh coconut ice cream.
Coconut ice cream, yes please.
Then just explore. The villages at the north end, gardens and resorts more to the south. Relax on the Bikini Beach, or definitely join a snorkeling tour.
Still aiming for those whale sharks and mantas.
And turtles. It's prime territory for all of them.
Sounds incredible. What about the evening?
A sunset fishing trip on Adaaran is a classic experience. Learn traditional techniques.
And maybe eat your catch?
Often, yeah. They might barbecue it for you right on the boat. Doesn't get fresher.
True. If fishing isn't your thing, dinner in the village.
Plenty of choices. Shell Cafe is casual noodles, fried rice. Malaveli restaurant has ocean views, and a bigger menu grilled tuna, nasi goreng, even burgers.
Good range. Any other places to note on Digura?
Absolute Thai, if you fancy a change. Dive Blue Maldives, Digura Divers for more dive options. Blue Trub Maafushi does dolphin watching. W Oceanus, lots of activity providers.
Right, so day 4, what's the plan? Maybe a taste of luxury.
Exactly. This is where you could try a resort day pass. After breakfast on Digura, you could hop over to a private resort island in the same atoll.
Ah, smart. Experience the fancy stuff without committing to a full stay.
Precisely. It lets you see if that super luxury vibe is for you on a future trip. Boutique Beach is one place offering day passes, and they even do cooking classes and diving.
Good option. Is it easy to hop between islands like that?
Within the same atoll, using speedboats is generally easier and cheaper than going between different atolls. Some people do prefer to stay put on one island for, say, 5 days, though, just to relax more.
Makes sense. So what's included in a typical resort day pass?
Usually access to amenities like the pool, maybe some non-motorized water sports, and often a lunch buffet. Always best to check the specifics when booking, though.
And the food might be different, maybe alcohol available.
Yeah, generally a wider international selection. And yes, alcohol is usually served on resort islands, unlike local islands.
So the afternoon is about enjoying the resort and snorkeling.
Definitely. Grab that snorkel gear and explore their house reef. Elif Dal Atoll, remember, is mega fun and central. Mantis, whale sharks,
An amazing coral.
incredible diversity of coral and fish. Some resorts, like LUX, South Ari Atoll, even have coral propagation programs you might be able to learn about or even participate in.
That's really cool, helping restore the reefs.
It's vital work. You can also book specific whale shark snorkeling tours or private charters if seeing them is a top priority.
Gotcha. Then back to Adaaran for the evening. Any local culture.
Yeah, head back as it cools down. You might catch a game of bashi in the central square.
That's the women's game with the rackets, hitting the ball backward.
That's the one. Really unique. Or you might see soccer, volleyball, maybe even a budubaru performance if you're lucky.
The drumming and dancing, that would be amazing.
Truly captivating. And just quickly, other resorts nearby for reference: Villa Park, Sun Island, Centaura, Maafushi, Lily Beach, Male Maldives.
Good to know. Okay, day 5. Are we committing to luxury now?
We are. Time to experience a private resort stay. We're focusing on the Conrad Maldives Rannalhi Island, still in Elif Dal Atoll.
And short stays are okay, like 2-3 nights.
Totally fine. Locals do it too for special occasions. The Conrad's interesting because it's 2 islands.
Right, connected by a bridge, one for families, one adults only.
Exactly. Rannalhi Fanolu is family-friendly. Rannalhi Island is adults only, so you choose your vibe.
First order of business at a place like the Conrad.
Pampering. They have 2 spas. The Overwater Spa has treatments based on time and mood. The Sun Soother sounds perfect after being out on the water.
Or the spa retreat.
That one has more traditional services, massages, facials, even haircuts. Then continue the relaxation at Mandu Spa Restaurant. Organic menu, inspired by the elements. Very zen.
Sounds blissful. And dinner. This is where the famous underwater restaurant is, right?
It is. Itha, the world's first. Dining 16 feet underwater, watching fish swim by.
Wow, like a reverse aquarium.
Exactly. It's a set menu, local flavors. An incredible experience. They have 10 restaurants overall, but Itha is the showstopper.
Yeah.
And there's the Muraka, that ultra-luxury underwater residence, but that's a whole other level.
Maybe next time. Okay, day 6 at the Conrad. More exploration.
Definitely. But maybe pace yourself at the breakfast buffet at Atoll Market. It's huge. Beachside, live cooking stations, curries, sushi, pastries, everything.
Tempting to overdo it. Maybe some yoga first.
Good call. They usually offer daily sessions. Then in the afternoon, check out the Narulu Awa Cultural Village on Rannalhi Island.
A cultural village at the resort.
Yeah, it's a newer addition. Gives you a feel for traditional village life. There's a buffet of local food, Maldivian artworks like coral carvings, reed weaving. It's really well done.
That sounds fascinating. A nice break from the beach.
Or try a different pool. The Quiet Zone pool is amazing. It's set right into the ocean.
Very cool. Evening dining options, apart from underwater.
Coco Grill is a top-end choice. Multi-course Japanese, fresh seafood, prepared tableside, ocean views. Very special occasion.
Pricey, I imagine.
Yeah, definitely a splurge. For something more laid back but still luxe, Rannalhi Bar is great. Beach bar vibe, Mediterranean-inspired food.
Nice. And I heard travelers say grab cocktails there before Coco Grill.
Good tip. And for something adventurous, nighttime snorkeling.
Ooh. What do you see then?
Coral blooms sometimes, which is magical. And nocturnal creatures, eels, octopus. Different world after dark.
Sounds incredible. Okay, day 7, last day at the resort.
Yep, time for some final relaxation and getting ready to head back. Maybe breakfast at Vili Restaurant and Bar. It's quieter. A la carte options. Nice buffet, too.
And maybe one last spa visit. A facial, perhaps.
Why not? The spa retreat has good ones, like the hydration abysses. Get that holiday glow.
Nice. Afternoon activities. Last chance for whale sharks.
If you haven't seen them, the resort's Whale Shark Talk and Tour is worth doing. Educational, plus the chance to swim with them.
Or just some final snorkeling.
Perfect. Just remember the no-fly rule. Avoid scuba diving 24 hours before your flight. Snorkeling the house reef is fine, though.
Good safety reminder. Farewell lunch.
Ufa is a great choice for that. Traditional Chinese, hand-pulled noodles, hot pots, in a tea house setting. Really lovely.
Sounds delicious. Then it's back to Male.
Fly back, yeah. If you have time before your international flight, maybe a quick visit to Sultan Park and the National Art Gallery nearby.
The gallery focuses on climate change impacts.
Often, yeah. Features Maldivian artists. Small but powerful. Then grab a final Maldivian meal dosa or biryani at Khalid's Biryani near the airport.
Convenient. And then off to Valana International Airport. Any idea on taxi costs in Malay?
Roughly, you're probably looking at around, say, $5 to $10 USD for typical short trips within Malay or Huhumeli. Always good to confirm beforehand, though.
Okay, so that wraps up an amazing 7 days, but the itinerary is for 12 days. What about the rest?
Right. So days 8 to 12 are about options, depending on what inspired you most, or your budget. Option 1 is more budget-friendly island hopping.
Like we touched on with Dagura, but maybe exploring more islands.
Exactly. Using local ferries, staying in guest houses on islands like Maafushi, Hanifaru, Fulutu, Raztu.
They'll do. Give us a quick flavor of each. Maafushi.
Maafushi's popular, known for local food. It's Bikini Beach, lots of water sports and dive centers. Can get busy, though, maybe a bit overdeveloped for some tastes.
Maafushi.
More industrial feel, known for fishing, traditional Doni boat building. Also has good surf spots.
Fulutu.
Quieter. Great snorkeling, interesting local sites, cultural dances, famous for the Alamatha night dive with nurse sharks. Fewer cafes, though.
Raztu.
Cozy, relaxed. Bikini Beach, hammocks, nice little cafes. Good for dolphin watching and seeing the manta cleaning station.
Told you.
The Fruit Basket Island, lots of watermelon and papaya plantations. Very relaxing beaches.
So if people choose this island hopping option, what are the key things to remember?
Plan those ferry schedules carefully. They aren't super frequent. Speedboats are faster, but way more expensive.
No alcohol on local islands.
Correct. Bring USD cash. Couch surfing is popping up for solo travelers. And budget-wise,
How much roughly per day?
if you're doing guest houses, local ferries, local food, you could maybe manage on around 75 USD a day. Potentially less if you're careful.
Okay, that's option 1. What's option 2 for the extra days?
Option 2 is diving deeper into luxury, exploring other amazing resorts in different atolls.
Which ones? Any examples?
Maybe Hideaway Beach Resort up north for intimacy, Lily Beach Resort for all-inclusive, Maafushi for mid-luxury, Six Senses Lemu for remote beauty, Fairmont Maldives with its huge lagoon. Loads of choices.
And getting to these might involve seaplanes?
Often, yeah, especially if they're further from Male. Or domestic flights plus a speedboat. Always confirm transfers with a resort, that's crucial.
Best time to visit is still November, April.
Generally, yes, for the dry season. Shoulder seasons might offer savings. And for a resort stay, aim for at least 4 or 5 days, ideally a week. Maybe split between 2.
Good idea. What should people consider when picking a resort?
Cost, obviously. Meal plans, accommodation type, island size, how good the house reef is for snorkeling, other activities, spa, diving, excursions. Match it to your interests.
And food options are usually plentiful.
Oh yeah, multiple restaurants, different cuisines, usually very good at handling dietary needs.
Right, so that's the luxury focus. What's option 3?
Option 3 is the blend. Combine local and luxury.
Best of both worlds.
Exactly. Spend a few days on a local island, soak up the culture, see that side of things, then move to a resort for a few days of pure indulgence and high-end amenities.
Get a really rounded view of the Maldives.
That's the idea. Just need to plan the transfers between the local island and the resort, especially if they're in different atolls.
Makes sense. Requires a bit more logistical planning, but potentially very rewarding.
Definitely. It gives you such a complete picture.
So wrapping this up, it really feels like a 12-day first trip to the Maldives can be incredibly diverse.
Absolutely. It doesn't have to be just one thing. It can be relaxation, adventure, culture, luxury, or a mix of all of them.
The key seems to be doing a bit of research, figuring out what appeals most to you, your style, your budget.
Precisely. Plan it around what you want to experience.
So just picture it again. Waking up to that sound of the waves, exploring reefs, bursting with color, tasting amazing local food.
Creating those memories that really last. It's all possible.
So the final thought for you, our listener, as you think about this 12-day journey, which part really grabs you? Is it the local culture, the underwater world, the pure relaxation? And maybe more importantly, what's the very first step you're going to take to make that Maldivian dream a reality?